When the social network hit theaters, executives at Facebook, now Meta, feared it could derail the company's meteoric rise. They perceived the film as a hatchet job, depicting its founder, Mark Zuckerberg, as a ruthless and socially inept opportunist, just as the platform was becoming a cultural force. If the intent was to slow the founder down, it backfired. The potential PR disaster has aged into a legacy-defining pop culture moment, one that elevated both the filmmakers and the company itself in the eyes of a generation of would-be founders. Now, as a sequel takes shape, the extent of the original's influence is still revealing itself, as the sprawling tech giant transforms from a social platform to a defense-linked AI powerhouse chasing superintelligence.
When I grow up, I would like to have your job. Is
Okay.
there any advice you can give me or career paths things I need to know?
Well, let me give you some very practical tips. First of all, I want everybody here to be careful about what you post on Facebook.
When it premiered in October 2010, The Social Network landed in a very specific cultural and tech moment that shaped how audiences received it.
Facebook is celebrating a milestone this week. It will sign up user number 500 million and secure a place in U.S. history.
In a few short years, Facebook had become the world's dominant social media platform, while the one-time leader, MySpace, withered away. The iPhone was just 3 years old, and you could only get one if you signed a 2-year AT&T contract. Instagram was just another startup about to launch, entering a crowding field of photo sharing and visual discovery apps like Flickr, Hipstamatic, and the newly launched Pinterest. Twitter was on the rise, with around 100 million users. The zeitgeist was as fixated on the evolving concept of social media then as it is on artificial intelligence today. Facebook especially had taken over people's lives. The platform was changing how people dated, introducing new challenges in marriages and rendering class reunions obsolete. Zuckerberg's name had to become a household one.
Now at 9, do you think the editors of Time made the right choice for Person of the Year, or would you have named someone else?
As shows like Shark Tank were taking off, the idea of young founders making it big with scrappy ideas captivated audiences. Zuckerberg, despite his social awkwardness, represented the new American dream, the coder/CEO. Then 26 and already a billionaire, the founder was often compared to Bill Gates, another tech-savvy Harvard dropout with an entrepreneurial streak. During his rise, the Microsoft founder was seen as brilliant but ruthless as he became the face of big tech domination. As he battled the federal government for antitrust violations in the late 90s, media coverage of the proceedings fueled an image of Gates as a control-obsessed empire builder. Like Zuckerberg, Gates also inspired a big-screen villain. Tim Robbins plays the Gates-inspired character in the 2001 thriller Antitrust, about a brilliant technologist who runs a massive software empire that recruits idealistic young programmers, only to exploit them. Unlike the generational hit, The Social Network, Antitrust failed at the box office and faded fast. The 2010 Zuckerberg was known for his hoodies and terse communication style. Many saw him as cold and robotic, though the memes about him literally being an AI robot hadn't yet taken off.
Now, hacking computers in order to score with girls is how New York Times bestselling author Ben Mesrick describes Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg in his new book.
The Social Network source material is the 2009 book by Ben Mesrick, The Accidental Billionaires.
It's the story of the kids who founded Facebook and the shenanigans that went on as they were trying to meet girls and become, popular. And
Producer Scott Rudin, known for No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood, optioned the movie rights while the book was still being drafted. He enlisted Aaron Sorkin, the creator and writer of the acclaimed TV series The West Wing and the court drama film A Few Good Men, to adapt it for the big screen. In September 2009, Columbia Pictures announced that principal photography had already begun, with David Fincher as director. Studio pressure to capture the cultural moments surrounding Facebook forced Fincher to work faster than usual on the social network. The company and its leader were still rapidly evolving, so there was a narrow window to tell the origin story before it felt outdated and overshadowed by newer developments. Sony, Columbia's parent company, and producer Rudin wanted the film to be topical, not retrospective. Fincher, the director of Fight Club and Seven, is known for being meticulous and deliberate, often doing dozens of takes per scene. Known for extended project timelines, Fincher wrapped principal photography by March 2010 and had the movie ready just over a year from commitment to release. The filmmakers adapted the source material with a sharper and more emotionally complex lens, elevating it from a sensational account into a layered exploration of ambition and betrayal. The Social Network stars Jesse Eisenberg, then known for playing fast-talking, neurotic, and brainy characters in movies like Zombieland and Adventureland, as Mark Zuckerberg. The film opens with a fictional girlfriend, played by Mara Rooney, breaking up with the character based on Zuckerberg after he alienates her during a tense bar conversation, sparking the chain of events that leads to Facebook. He rushes back to his dorm and begins coding a site called Face Mash, hacking Harvard's student directories and setting the stage for his reputation as a brilliant and ruthless programmer. Andrew Garfield is Eduardo Saverin, Zuckerberg's supportive roommate and best friend, who offers the seed money to commercialize the Facebook as it evolves from an immature campus experiment into a rapidly scaling social platform. The plot largely revolves around a real lawsuit between the two former friends as a framing device to unravel the conflicting accounts behind Facebook's origins. As Facebook spreads across Ivy League campuses, the founders move operations to Palo Alto, where they meet Justin Timberlake's Sean Parker, the charismatic Napster co-founder who dazzles Zuckerberg with visions of global domination. Parker's influence drives a wedge between the co-founders and reshapes the power dynamics of the company.
So Ron also asked the audience how many of you have seen The Social Network, and most people have. I haven't seen it, but I wanted to ask you if that's the picture that people have in their head about what happened at Facebook.
I mean, where do you want to start?
The Social Network was both a critical and a commercial success. It grossed $224 million worldwide, a strong return for a dialogue-heavy drama, and achieved a 96% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It earned 8 Oscar nominations and won 3 for Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Editing, and Best Original Score. Its portrayal of Zuckerberg during Facebook's meteoric rise was unprecedented and seen as potentially damaging. So it goes without saying that Zuckerberg was not a fan. He called parts of the story fabricated and said the filmmakers got the motivations all wrong. He especially rejected the idea that Facebook was created as revenge for a breakup, noting that he's been with his now wife, Priscilla Chan, since before the events in The Social Network.
It's such a big disconnect from, I think, the way that people who make movies think about what we do in Silicon Valley, building stuff. Like, they just can't wrap their head around the idea that someone might build something because they like building things.
It turned out that the damage control was unnecessary. 15 years after its release, The Social Network remains popular on cable and streaming platforms. Its influence on tech and the world is still unfolding. For many viewers, The Social Network functioned less as a cautionary tale and more as a call to arms. It signaled that tech founders had become modern-day power figures, worthy of Shakespearean drama. It reinforced popular startup myths and shaped public perceptions of software engineering and Silicon Valley life. Among the viewers who drew inspiration from The Social Network is Alexandr Wang, the 20-something founder of the data labeling startup Scale AI. In a 2016 LinkedIn post, Wang recalled a venture capitalist asking him when he knew he wanted to launch a startup. The investor told him his life so far seemed perfectly lined up to start one. Caught off guard, he said he rattled off a silly answer about being inspired by the social network. The cinematic kernel, coupled with his deep interest in artificial intelligence, helped fuel his founding of Scale in 2016, which later achieved unicorn status and made him the world's youngest self-made billionaire. In a full-circle twist, Wang joined Meta in June 2025 after it invested around $14 billion for a 49% stake in Scale, driving its value to nearly $30 billion.
So it brings one of the most strategic players in AI inside Zuckerberg's tent, also makes clear that the most sought-after AI talent continues to fetch bigger and bigger dollar amounts.
Founders even younger than Wang continue to draw inspiration from the social network.
I'm going to make $1 million before graduating high school, and this YouTube channel is going to document the whole process.
Zach Yadagari, a teenage app developer, says teaching coding at age 10 taught him the limits of consulting. In interviews, he said the social network inspired him to pivot to building products instead, helping turn his AI-powered calorie tracking app into more than $1 million of revenue monthly.
The first step to anything is to believe in yourself.
Man, thanks, Zach.
Beyond individual cases, the social network reinforced and popularized broader themes in tech entrepreneurship culture. It portrayed programming and hackathons with an unprecedented cool factor. Fast-paced scenes of Zuckerberg drunkenly coding face mash, and the infamous hackathon drinking contest depicted coding as a thrilling, competitive endeavor. Colleges reported a surge in student interest in programming after 2010, likened to the Sputnik moment for coding. The film inspired young people to study programming, much like Top Gun spurred Air Force recruitment in the 80s. The social network helped popularize the idea that launching a startup is a worthwhile and glamorous pursuit. Applications to Y Combinator, the famed Silicon Valley early-stage accelerator, spiked dramatically after its release. Many young entrepreneurs who applied directly cited the techno-drama as inspiration. The line,
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
$1 billion.
became iconic. It turned into a mantra and a mindset, driving young founders the same way Wall Street did aspiring stockbrokers, Boiler Room did wannabe schemers, and All the President's Men did journalists. The film cemented the archetype of the gifted student who's better off without Ivy League schooling. The storyline turbocharged the idea that leaving college to hack on an idea in a dorm or garage could be the path toward world-changing innovation. One possible subject of a future bioepic is Roy Lee, who upped the ante on the Zuckerberg playbook. Instead of simply dropping out, he got himself effectively blacklisted from elite universities and big tech, forcing himself into a do-or-die scenario. Columbia University banned him after he used an early version of his AI tool during a remote coding assessment. His software analyzed his screen and suggested answers, effectively cheating in real time. After the university accused him of violating academic integrity policies, Lee shared the exploit online and gained widespread attention. The virality caught the attention of top VCs like Andreessen Horowitz, as Lee raised $20 million for his startup called Cluely. To celebrate, Cluely released this video that's a clear nod to the social network. He openly markets Cluely as a way to cheat on everything, including interviews, dates, and exams, using AI to whisper answers undetected. Like Facebook, Cluely is feared not just for what it enables today, but for what it'll manifest into as it inevitably evolves into a defense contractor like everything else. According to reports, a sequel to The Social Network is in the works, with Aaron Sorkin returning as both writer and director. The film will explore internal dynamics at Zuckerberg's tech juggernaut as it transformed into Meta. The company today bears little resemblance to the scrappy startup depicted by Fincher back in 2010. Meta is a sprawling tech conglomerate that's building next-generation hardware, including AI-powered combat goggles for the military as it maneuvers around mounting antitrust scrutiny. Zuckerberg is notably fixated on beating the AI industry to superintelligence that surpasses human cognitive capabilities. In the race past AGI, he's up against the likes of Mira Murati, who also has an unorthodox origin story. For more on the rise of Murati and her thinking machines, check the related video.